And if you're just really fucking good and you're not fast, this job isn't for you. And if you're really fucking fast, but you're not good, this job isn't for you. You have to be able to do both. It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. The productivity vein, she said about your experience, you were hitting a vein. I think to me, it's the productivity vein. When we're running these production-based businesses, we can love people, and we do love our teams. And we like, I don't think our employees understand how much they mean to us. And I say that, and Cory's probably the only one that knows like the impact of all that right now in my world. And again, we got a big thing going on. We'll talk about it later. Probably months from now, we'll be able to talk about it. But our employees will never know how much we care about them. They just like our kids won't know until they have kids. They will not understand the depths to which we lose sleep over their well-being, over their satisfaction with our jobs, over everything that we do to go out of our way to obsess about the thing we create for them. And they'll judge us, and they'll think we're taking a bunch of money out of the business, and they'll think they're getting paid like slaves, right? And like, we know that's not true. And we try to convince them it's not true. We try to create these systems and these processes so that they understand we do, like, we're not getting rich off this shit, you guys. Like, a few of us will, but it's a long time until we get there. And like, we're all looking at the same thing, right? We're all looking way the hell out there. Someday, maybe we'll get there. But like, owning a small business isn't just a whole bunch of money in your pocket and going on vacation whenever you want. It's usually looking at your bank account every other 5 minutes, trying to figure out if you have enough money and figuring out like, am I going to work 20 hours this weekend or 40 hours this weekend? Like, we know that that's kind of what we signed up for, and we live that life, and we hope it's not forever. But our employees don't always like absolutely totally understand all that stuff, but we totally go out of our way for them. It's like, it's what we're engineered to do, right? So the production thing is always a hard thing to enforce because we give so many shits about them. And when they're not quite producing, we come up with every excuse or every reason why they can't quite make it. And we try to like string them along, but it's always this weird, like, gray area of, at what point are we doing it to the detriment of the rest of our team that is high producing? Like when we're keeping people around that aren't meant to be in that role, which isn't their fault. We hired them to do a role that's not the right role for them. But from a production basis, and this matters when you're producing anything, it matters in my bookkeeping business. It matters in home cleaning, it matters in landscaping, it matters in window cleaning, it matters if you're sealing garage floors. It's all about productivity. And there's a weird conundrum that we all face in our production-based businesses, which is we have these competing factors. We always will. And the success of our employees is based on their ability to handle this conundrum, which is you have to be really fucking good and you have to be really fucking fast. And if you're just really fucking good and you're not fast, this job isn't for you. And if you're really fucking fast, but you're not good, this job isn't for you. You have to be able to do both. You have to be really good and really fast. And if you're not both, you're still a good person. You just can't do this job. Because the best people in a production-based role can do it both really good and really fast. And you can't sacrifice one for the other. And the really funny thing is, if you watch your best employees over time, the fastest ones somehow do the best quality. I don't know how that is or why that is, but we all know that that happens. Like the best employees that you've ever had somehow magically do both. And it's hard to pinpoint what it is. If it's that they just don't look at their phones, if it's that they don't get distracted, if it's that they just are so efficient with their movements and they care so much. But in those production-based roles, that's what it's all about. So it's super hard to like tell somebody when they're not the right person for that role, or to be like, hey, you're super good at this job, but you're just moving too slow. And I don't think you're ever going to be fast enough. Or like, hey, you're moving really fast, but I don't think you're ever going to actually do a good job cleaning this thing. Super hard to communicate that stuff. Super hard.